Britain's highest court has ruled Boris Johnson's move to suspend Parliament is unlawful, a major blow for the new UK Prime Minister. Critics said he was trying to stifle debate ahead of the Brexit deadline, despite Mr Johnson's claim the prorogation was to allow him to concentrate on a domestic agenda. All 11 judges found he had no right to do so. Let's take a listen to some of the judgment.
The court is bound to conclude, therefore, that the decision to advise Her Majesty to prorogue Parliament was unlawful because it had the effect of frustrating or preventing the ability of Parliament to carry out its constitutional functions without reasonable justification. This court has already concluded that the Prime Minister's advice to Her Majesty was unlawful, void and of no effect. This means that the order in Council to which it led was also unlawful, void and of no effect and should be quashed. This means that when the Royal Commissioners walked into the House of Lords, it was as if they had walked in with a blank sheet of paper. The prorogation was also void and of no effect. Parliament has not been prorogued. This is the unanimous judgment of all 11 justices. It is for Parliament, and in particular the Speaker and the Lord Speaker, to decide what to do next. Unless there is some parliamentary rule of which we are unaware, they can take immediate steps to enable each House to meet as soon as possible. It is not clear to us that any step is needed from the Prime Minister, but if it is, the Court is pleased that his counsel have told the Court that he will take all necessary steps to comply with the terms of any declaration made by this court.
The UK's Prime Minister was in New York when he got the bad news. After at first avoiding reporters' questions on the verdict, he fronted the cameras to express his disappointment with the decision.
Obviously, this is a verdict that we will respect, and we respect the judicial process. I have to say I strongly disagree with what the justices have found. I don't think that it's right, but we will go ahead and, of course, Parliament will come back. I do think there's a good case for getting on with a Queen's speech anyway, and we'll do that. But I think the most important thing is we get on and deliver Brexit on October the 31st. And there's clearly the claimants in this case are determined to try to frustrate that and to stop that. I think it'd be very unfortunate if Parliament made that objective, which the people want delivered, more difficult. But we'll get on.
You say you won't extend Brexit, but how do you avoid doing that now? You've run out of options.
Well, on the contrary, the law, as the law currently stands, the UK leaves the EU on October the 31st, come what may. But the interesting thing, the exciting thing for us now is to get a good deal, and that's what we're working on. And look, I'll be honest with you, John, it's not made much easier by this kind of stuff in Parliament or in the courts. Obviously, getting a deal is not made much easier against this background, but we're going to get on and do it.
Okay, just finally, you say as the law stands, we leave on October the 31st. That's not true, is it? As the law stands, we cannot leave with no deal on October the 31st without the permission of Parliament.
As the law stands, we leave on October the 31st, and I'm very hopeful that we will get a deal. And I think what the people of the country want is to see parliamentarians coming together, working on in the national interest to get this thing done, and that's what we're going to do.
And after the Supreme Court ruling, it fell to the House of Commons to decide when they would resume sitting. Speaker John Bercow confirmed they will get straight back to business at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, London time.
I have instructed the House authorities to prepare, not for the recall, the prorogation was unlawful and is void, to prepare for the resumption of the business of the House of Commons. Specifically, I've instructed the House authorities to undertake such steps as are necessary to ensure that the House of Commons sits tomorrow and that it does so at 11:30 a.m.